Never thought I'd live in Laguna Woods. Never thought of moving into the old folks' hood. My friends all laughed, told me it'd be a bummer. But now I'm living in an endless summer. Yeah, these are the tales from Laguna Woods. I'm telling tales from Laguna Woods. Yeah, life in Laguna Woods. I'm telling tales from Laguna Woods.
I am so bummed.
What's wrong?
Well, this is the first Thanksgiving ever that I won't be spending with my kids. Damn this COVID-19.
Oh, well, I'm in the same boat as you, but I can handle them having to stay away because of COVID. But if they decide they're going to spend Thanksgiving with their father and the whore from gate 4, I will literally blow a gasket.
Face facts. That could actually happen, Jackie. And that could very well happen in future years to you too, Bobby.
I hadn't thought of that, but this is my first Thanksgiving that I'm not married. I can't imagine my children choosing to spend holidays with my ex-husband in duck lips. You don't think they would do that, do you, Mom?
My dear, things change once the kids grow up and get married. Many times they spend Thanksgiving with their spouse's family and Christmas with you, if you're lucky, trading off every year as though you were an old winter coat. May I remind you how often you did that to me?
Oh, I'm sorry, Mom.
But I was always home with you, Mom, at least when I wasn't traveling or working on the cruise ships.
Yes, you were with us, you poor parents, whenever you weren't off on some ridiculous venture, which I might add was quite often. Of course, when you did show up for the holidays, it was just because you were looking for a free meal before you rode off again to God knows where with God knows whom. But at least you were there, and I didn't have to share you with another family at the holiday season. All right, I'll admit it. I was glad you were there when you were. Holidays can be pretty miserable without your kids.
Thanks, Mom.
Well, looks like we have each other for this Thanksgiving. Okay, how about a semi-Zoom Thanksgiving?
Semi-Zoom? What the hell does that mean?
Well, for those of us who don't want to get together. You know, Eunice, you can stay in your room and watch us via Zoom. I mean, we'll set up our Zoom meeting and you can watch us like that, join in the conversation. You just won't be sitting right at the table with us.
What are you all overeat at the Great American Gluttony Fest? Perhaps not.
Never mind her. Let's do it, but only if we can social distance. If we don't, Mom will never let us hear the end of it. And we can all pitch in our favorite dishes so Jackie doesn't have to make everything.
That sounds good. We'll cook in shifts, only 2 people in the kitchen at a time, and we can eat outside on the patio 6 feet apart with plates on our laps.
Great idea. Now my specialty is mashed potatoes.
And I'll bring the string cheese. No, just kidding. Actually, I'm a whiz at homemade cranberry sauce. One of the few things I make well. And believe it or not, if I buy a crust, I make great sweet potato pie, left over from my vegetarian days.
I love appetizers. I can bring veggies and hummus. Oh, I think I'll find that recipe for artichoke dip that my mother-in-law used to make. She probably still does.
You know, I love all of you and appreciate what everyone is going to bring. Just let me take care of the rest. The turkey, stuffing, sweet potatoes, and all the side dishes, you know, that my kids and Marshall always loved. Maybe if I cook it, they will come. The kids, not Marshall.
Oh, forget Marshall Mouse. He doesn't deserve good cooking anymore. You know, it sounds fabulous. I'm already fantasizing about the meal that you're going to whip up because you can't believe the horrible Thanksgiving meal I had when I was last working on the cruise ship. Even worse than yours, Mom.
Oh, okay, let's hear it.
Well, I made the mistake of telling them I was a vegetarian, which I was at the time.
Is that when you were seeing that man from the ashram?
Right, Mom. Anyway, so I'm watching the waiters bring out all these fabulous platters of turkey and stuffing and side dishes, and I can't wait for mine because the waiter tells me they have prepared something special for me as a vegetarian. He then proudly comes out with a gigantic platter piled high with enough asparagus for 20 people or more. It was topped with 2 fried eggs staring up at me, and that was all there was. Thank goodness my table mates took pity on me and shared their sweet potatoes and cranberry sauce. I would have starved. I hate asparagus.
Morgana, thank you for the wonderful story. And thank you so much for volunteering to clean up after our semi-Zoom dinner.
What? No, I never said anything of the kind. Pie. I'm making pie.
Oh, but I know you want to help around here some more. And this is your perfect opportunity. Bobby, I need you to oversee and make sure she doesn't, cut corners. You too, Lauren.
Thanks for your never-ending trust. All of you.
If Jackie is doing the major part of the cooking, then both you girls need to do your share. It's only fair. Now, I brought you up to be gracious, right?
Eunice, I'll make you a plate and leave it outside your door when you're ready to sit down.
Although a very thoughtful idea, that does seem like it would be rather lonely.
So, Mother, are you saying you'll be brave enough to sit in social distance proximity to 4 people you already know and love?
Absolutely not. But I'll probably be on the phone with Mr. Darcy. Clay, during your dinner. He won't have anyone either.
Then semi-Zoom it is. You know, before he got sick, Gideon and I used to travel on Thanksgiving, mostly to Europe. I mean, it was really strange for us the first time we went abroad on Thanksgiving. You know, I think he still goes with his so-called nurse.
What do you mean?
Well, in the US, of course, everyone celebrates Thanksgiving. I mean, it's one of our biggest national holidays, and most everyone is affected one way or another. But when you go to other countries, I mean, it's like non-existent. It's a non-event. I mean, it's not one of their national holidays. So you try finding a turkey dinner, or even a turkey for that matter. It's near to impossible.
I've never really been a big fan of turkey.
Oh, well, neither am I really, but Gideon, he always had to have all the trimmings. Anyway, I eventually got over my craving for turkey when I went abroad, and I just simply started thinking of Thanksgiving as a really nice vacation where I'd be going somewhere beautiful.
Lauren, this is the first time I've ever heard you say anything remotely positive about your ex.
Happy memories sometimes pop up that you can't really ignore, even if they were with my ex scumbag husband. Anyway, when I was a kid, we used to have the most traditional Thanksgiving. I mean, we all lived in the same town, grandparents on both sides, aunts, uncles, cousins, third cousins removed. I mean, the whole deal. And our Thanksgiving would be at my grandmother's house on my mother's side. And my grandmother would start making pies the whole week ahead of time. And she would just set them on the big wraparound porch to cool.
Oh, it sounds like the perfect picture of real Americana. I'm picturing the painting American Gothic.
I guess it was, you know? And on Thanksgiving, everyone would show up in the early afternoon. All the women would gather in the kitchen, and each one would work on her specialty and help the other ones peel, grate, mash, smash, and saute. And then, if the weather was good, we kids would go outside and play. And if the weather was bad, we'd have hide and seek all over the house, in the attic, in the basement. I mean, there were a zillion places you could hide in that old 3-story home.
Do you miss all that?
Oh, no. You know, living in a small town in Kentucky can be really stifling. I mean, everyone wants to hear everyone else's business, and they'll tell it to anybody who will listen. And that's everyone. So, you know, after college, I never went back. I mean, all my people are gone now, except for my cousins, and they're all over the map. You know, I never made it to the grown-up table. I always used to just sit at the kids' table.
Marilyn, did you ever make it to the grown-up table? I don't think so.
It's Morgana, and no, I never did, and I was glad of it. I had way more fun with the kids, and if I remember correctly, you were right there by my side at the kids' table, Bobby.
Well, I was there until I got married, and then I got to move to the grown-up table with my husband. Thank you very much. I've got a question for you, Mom. What did you ever have against turkey? I mean, why didn't you make it for us? I like turkey, and I always have.
British, we don't do Thanksgiving. Now, at Christmas, you give me a well-seasoned duck or a big fat goose, and that's what I call a holiday meal. But I went along and did it for you girls since you were growing up American. But I still wasn't about to make a meal centered around a dry, tasteless bird that you have to stuff old bread and leftovers inside of in order to plump it up a bit and make it seem palatable. Yeah.
Stuffing? That is my favorite part of the meal, depending on how it's made and what's in it. So, Jackie, what do you put in your stuffing? Inquiring palates want to know.
Well, I actually make a pretty basic stuffing. It's what my kids always wanted. And Marshall liked things very plain and traditional, as he put it. I make French bread about a week ahead of time. I let it get stale, make chicken soup to use the broth. I saute onions and garlic and butter and the herbs, you know, freshly chopped parsley, sage.
Rosemary and thyme.
As a matter of fact, yes. Then salt and pepper. I toss the stale bread in that, beat a couple of eggs into the chicken broth and pour it all over the stale bread cubes. Oh, toss it and stuff it in the bird. It always comes out perfectly. The kids love it. I can't believe I won't be seeing them this year.
Boy, that sounds good, but sort of plain. I mean, my mother-in-law made it with cranberries and apples and almonds, but she always said you can't cook it inside the bird because you're going to get botulism. So she baked it in a bundt cake pan.
Oh, sounds more like granola than stuffing.
Nobody cares what a good cook your ex-mother-in-law is, Bobby. least of all me. She gave birth to that awful disaster of a husband of yours. He's dead to me, and so is she.
Bobby, remember that year I made cornbread from scratch and then made stuffing out of that because Mom's stuffing was always so, sorry, Mom, tasteless?
Yes, and nobody liked it.
No, well, you didn't like it, but everyone else did, right, Mom?
Is that what the grandkids were mushing into little balls and seeing who could throw them the furthest into the trash can?
Oh boy. None of you put chestnuts in your stuffing, or oysters, or sausage. That's my favorite. Wow, you don't know what you're missing. You crisp up those onions and the breadcrumbs, and you mix them with the sausage drippings. Oh, your taste buds will think they died and went to holiday food heaven.
You know, I've heard of oyster dressing, but I've never tried it. I was always afraid the stuffing would taste fishy, and you know how well that would go over with the kids.
My mother loved oyster dressing. She made it almost every year. If you do it right, it's just about the best thing ever. Second to sausage, that is. But you have to use fresh oysters, never canned. That's what you do to avoid that seafood taste. Oh, you know, I sure miss my mom at times like these.
This is really inspiring me. I mean, Jackie, will you let me make the stuffing this year? I saw some amazing recipes on recipe.com and I'd like to try. And to tell you the truth, I need a distraction to keep me from thinking about missing my family.
Bobby, the last time we cooked together, we were in 8th grade cooking class, and you burned the ice cream.
You are never going to let me forget that, are you?
Nope. But I will give you a chance to prove you're a better cook now. Sure, you make the stuffing. Just please run whatever recipe you decide on me first. It's not that I don't trust you.
Yes, it is.
I just want to make sure that all the dishes coordinate with each other well.
Well, of course you do. Are they all going to be wearing little matchy outfits?
It's important that dishes complement each other, Morgana. It's one of the things I learned when I first learned to cook.
Didn't you always cook? I mean, don't I remember you were one of the only kids around with an easy bake oven? Oh, I was so jealous.
You know, when Marshall and I first got married, I knew how to make hamburger patties, how to dress up jarred spaghetti sauce, and how to make chili using those XLT bricks of chili they have in the supermarket. Oh, and hot fudge sauce. Oh, my mother made the best hot fudge sauce, one of my best inheritances.
I remember that sauce. I only had it once or twice, but you are right, it was heavenly. Ooh.
So, the first year we were married, I decided that I would have the whole family over for Thanksgiving. I wouldn't let anyone else bring food. I wanted to prove myself to my family and my new in-laws.
Well, did you impress them with your culinary prowess?
Impress them, you bet. But my culinary prowess? Nobody told me there was a bag of gizzards and other turkey parts inside the bird. Why don't people tell you these things?
Well, it's kind of like when your mom sits you down to tell you about the facts of life. Now, darling, let me tell you where babies come from. Oh, and always remember to take the bag of gizzards out of the turkey cavity before cooking. And never used canned oysters.
Anyway, I had seen my mom roast a chicken and I thought, how different can this be? It's just a bigger bird. I just put salt, pepper, a little garlic salt, and paprika right on the skin and shoved the turkey in the oven. No roasting pan, no bag, no aluminum foil, and a gut full of bagged giblets. Talk about dry. I stuck plain sweet potatoes into the oven, also no oil on the skin, casserole with marshmallows, hard and dry. My gravy came out lumpy and burnt tasting. No one told me to start the cornstarch with cold water before adding it to the hot turkey juice, such as it was. I made that string bean casserole with canned string beans, canned mushroom soup, and those little crunchy onions on top.
Now, what was wrong with that? You couldn't have messed up that recipe, could you? It's so easy. It's one of my favorites.
No, I didn't mess it up. I just forgot to serve it. Can you imagine no one wanted it for dessert? Let's not even talk about dessert. Frozen pumpkin pie.
Is that the kind you bake at home?
Yeah, but I didn't read the directions. I just took it out of the box and put it on the table. I was so humiliated in front of my family and Marshall's family. That was it. I was going to learn to cook. I felt like Scarlett O'Hara, as God is my witness. I'll never cook a bad meal again.
La da da da, la da da da.
So, Jackie, did you enroll in cooking classes then?
No, we were newlyweds. We didn't have any money for that. I went to the library and checked out every cordon bleu cookbook and every Bon Appetit magazine they had and got to work. I read every direction and every recipe as though my life depended on it. After a while, I found out I really had a knack for it. I started playing with the recipes to make them my own.
And so,
the next year, nobody wanted to take a chance and come to our house, but I insisted, and they reluctantly came. They usually got drunk throughout the evening at holidays, but just in case they had to face another horrible meal, they were drunk when they showed up at the door. I made an absolutely perfect Thanksgiving dinner, from soup to nuts, as they say. It was a huge success. After dinner, my mother-in-law confessed to smuggling a roasted turkey into the house, just in case.
Hi, I'm Cheryl Stritch, director and co-writer of Tales from the Woods. After all this talk of recipes in the episode, we'd like to reach out to you, our audience. So we're going to have a holiday appetizer recipe contest. Please send your favorite holiday appetizer recipe to us at ocoldpros@gmail.com. The deadline for submitting your entry is November 15th. Please include your name, email address, and phone number with your entry. The winner will have a walk-on role in a future episode, and the winner will be announced in the beginning of December. Thank you.
Hi, this is Mary Zolli, and I play Lauren on Tales from the Woods. I'd like to wish you a very happy and healthy Thanksgiving. And if you don't feel like cooking, then here's a little tip from Lauren. Stuffed turkey breast with cranberry and sausage stuffing. Just heat and serve.
From across the pond, we'd like to wish all of our American cousins very happy Thanksgiving. Cheers. Nothing like a good cup of tea.
Connor?
Good.
I'm Sandy O'Connor. I play Bobby on Tales from the Woods, but we're having a beautiful Thanksgiving dinner together here at their lake home in Michigan, and we want to wish you all a very happy Thanksgiving.
Hi, everybody. This is Karen Elliott Taylor, aka Jackie, And we wish you all a happy Thanksgiving from our family to yours. Cheers!
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Hi, I'm Cheryl Stritch, director and co-writer of Tales from the Woods. My little grandson and I want to wish all of you a very happy Thanksgiving. Say happy Thanksgiving, Leo.
Happy Thanksgiving!
Hey, what's going on? Dave DeSantis here. I am the behind-the-scenes man, editor, and producer of Tales from the Woods. And just want to wish you all a very happy Thanksgiving. Hope you're all staying safe and healthy out there, and have a great holiday.
Hi, everybody. My name is Mark Hochberg, and I play Nelson on the show.
And I'm Sharon Rosen, also known as Mrs. Hochberg, and I play Morgana. And we would like to wish everyone a very happy Thanksgiving, and we'll do it in the best way that we both know how.
Right.
Hit it.
Here we go.
May we be blessed as we go on our way. May we be guided in peace. May we be blessed with health and joy. May this be our blessing. Amen. 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 May this be our blessing. Amen. 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 May this be our blessing. Amen. Happy Thanksgiving.